excited to hear from Eric. We are too, and we appreciate your time as always, and especially this time of year because things are just happening quicker than we want them to this time of year. But for those of you that don't know Eric, he is the creator and CEO of Teamzy. He's a professional business coach, and he's done that for the last 18 years. He's trained over 100,000 network marketers in the last 3 to 5 years. He is a husband and father of 4 awesome children, and he is a lover of people. So we're so glad you're here, Eric. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm excited to talk to y'all today. So we are definitely going to have some fun. Again, my name is Eric Johnson, and what we're going to do today is, how many of you, just by a quick poll, turn on your cameras if you can, if you're decent. How many of you are already using Teamzy? Some of you guys are already. Okay, great. And I know some of you aren't. So I'm definitely going to take you into Teamzy today. I'll show you how easy it is to set it up. And I want to show you kind of what I think are the best workflows for crushing your power hour in Teamzy. So if you haven't already started using it, it's a software platform. It tracks all your relationships and connections and things like that. But really what it's designed to do is help you get all of your income producing activities, your DMO, get it done in less than an hour a day. Okay, not only get it done, but at a level you're not used to doing, right? And so I'll show you guys that. It's designed really to help you find that time in your day. But I also want to teach you a little bit about the heart and the philosophy of the system that Teamzy's built to help you execute on. Because it's not just an efficiency program, it's actually an approach to doing business. And so I'm going to teach you a little bit about relationship marketing as well, which is the system Teamzy's built on, so that you kind of have an understanding for that. And I think probably you guys know a little bit about that, and that's why you're attracted to the idea of it. But I want to take you through that, and then we'll do the Teamzy demo. And then if you guys have questions, I'll stay on, and we'll do a Q&A. You can ask anything you like, and I'll be happy to go there with you guys. And we are recording also. Okay, I'm going to make sure everybody's muted. Now, of course, you do have the power, because you're grown-ups, to unmute yourself if you feel the spirit move you and you need to. But otherwise, we'll keep you muted till the end. Okay. What am I doing? Sharing the wrong thing. That's Facebook. You guys have that, your own. Okay, here we go. This is what I want to talk to you about first. How to systemize your success with relationship marketing to become a power hour boss. There's 3 pieces, right? We're going to show you how to follow a system. We'll show you how to do it with relationships as the focus and get it all done in less than an hour a day. Okay, and again, just to reiterate, my background is not network marketing or direct sales, but my background is business coaching. I've been helping people build their business 18 years, focusing on authentic relationship-based businesses. Now, I fell into direct sales by accident. Honestly, that kind of my story is probably similar to some of yours. I had built up my career and had found success. I do the air quotes because even though I was respected and successful, I felt kind of stuck. And for me, a couple ways. One, there was nowhere for me to grow, and I'm a growth-oriented person. I was kind of at the top of my growth trajectory. And financially, we were feeling stuck. I just couldn't imagine, there was no way for me to earn more money without spending more hours, right? And my challenge, here's a shot of my family. My challenge was I wanted to be with these people, and I never saw them. I was constantly working. And so for me to get ahead financially, it meant I had to see them even less. And honestly, that's not where I wanted my life to be. I felt like I was already missing my kids as they were growing up. My wife and I spent 40 minutes a day together. I mean, I spent more time with customers than I did with my own family. I know you guys can relate to that. So I started looking at ways I could create another stream of income or start my own business. The problem was I just didn't have any time, right? I already didn't have any time. And that's when I took a really good look at direct sales, because I thought, wow, if I could get this efficient enough to do it in an hour a day, I could get started building something on the side without sacrificing too much time. And so I started looking for tools that would help me leverage my time. And then you guys know we're talking about Teamzy because there was nothing out there. So I had to build it myself. So we built Teamzy about, almost 4 years old now. Actually, today's the 16th. We launched Teamzy exactly 4 years ago today, because it launched on my son's birthday. So in 4 years, so this should be 4 years now. In 4 years since we launched Teamzy, we've had more than 100,000 network marketers use Teamzy, which has been amazing. I wasn't even sure if anyone but me wanted it, but I guess you guys proved me wrong. And in that time, I wanted to let you guys know how Juice Plus distributors are doing. Actually, Juice Plus distributors is just a year. But they've been averaging, if you're active using Teamzy consistently, the average is 18 customers and 12 recruits over 90 days. 18 customers and 12 recruits over 90 days. That's pretty awesome. All right, so let's dive back into this. And of course, I don't know if you guys are all aware of this, but we are proud to be endorsed by the Juice Plus company for you guys to use Teamzy. If you're not already using Teamzy, what you should do is go to teamzy.com/JP and get a free trial started. We offer 30 days free. We don't ask for your credit card information or anything. We just want you to use it, fall in love, see how well it helps you build your business. Okay, so teamzy.com/JP. If you're not already using Teamzy, you can get your free trial started there. And of course, I'm proud to endorse you guys. I love your products. I have 2 tower gardens now. And of course, we are all on Juice Plus in my family, and we think you guys are awesome. So just wanted to give you that shout out too. Okay, so let's get back into this topic. What is relationship marketing? And it's kind of turned into a buzzword lately. It's kind of funny. No one is ever talking about this, and now everybody seems to be talking about relationship marketing. I feel like most people, when they mention this term, though, what they're mentioning is just, just selling stuff to your friends, things like that, which is not what we're about. I want you guys to understand that relationship marketing, it's a philosophy of doing business that puts relationships and people ahead of sales and products. Okay, and this is important to get at the very outset, because everything that I'm going to teach you to do, you need to be coming from this place. It's a philosophy of doing business that puts relationships and people ahead of sales and products. The reason why people are so skeptical and jaded towards our industry is because they feel like it puts sales ahead of the relationship. That makes sense? They feel like they have a target on their backs. Also, relationship marketing is not an abstract feel-good concept. It's a proven system. Okay, it's a proven system. We follow it and we always know what to do next. Pretty cool, right? Knowing what to do next in your business. Also, next principle I want you to get is this one. Developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. Developing and deepening relationships is, you know what? I think I skipped a whole slide. Let me see here. Hold on a second. Oh, no, I didn't. I thought I did. Developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. So we're going to go out and meet people and develop relationships with them. Our duty is not to create sales or to create recruits or to even create income. Our duty is to create relationships. Okay. And again, it's just a principle to set the tone for how you build your business. The reason why we focus on relationships and not sales is this, you guys. We turn our relationships into advocates. We turn our relationships into advocates by investing time and providing outstanding service. Okay, so just really quick on this. This is important. I want you guys to tune in for this concept. Just about every other trainer that you're going to come across in our industry is going to teach you how to convert people to sales and recruits, right? But I'm here to tell you that the people who tell you no are often the most valuable people in your business, because they can become advocates for you. And advocates are people who are out actively looking for other people who need the solution you offer. This is how your business grows exponentially, not because you got Jane to buy Juice Plus, but because you got Jane educated on your mission to help people live fulfilling and healthy lives. And Jane is now looking for people who need that help and introducing you to them. Does this make sense? The relationships turn into advocates. This is how the business really gets going. Now, along the way, of course, you're going to sell and recruit. But I just want you guys to understand, we don't throw away the no's, because they may not be they may not need or want your solution, but they may be introducing other people to it. Okay, next principle. Relationship marketing depends on trust. Relationship marketing depends on trust. In other words, if you are a jerk, this ain't gonna work. Okay, and so this is also an important concept, because have we come across people in our business who do things that are maybe a slight bit disingenuous? Absolutely. And if you haven't come across those people, the people you're talking to have. Okay, but with relationship marketing, everything needs to be authentic and transparent, because it's about building trust, which means that those tactics, and you guys know what I'm talking about, all those tactics that make you feel a little bit icky, that make you feel like you're tricking people into listening, things like that. We don't do that stuff, because that ruins the whole system. But I want you guys to know that trust makes the work fun. When people trust you, even just a little bit, you don't have to sell, you don't have to convince. You can get right to helping people, which is why we're here, right? Also, trust takes the ickiness away. There's no icky salesperson feeling. How many of you like me are just, you don't ever want to be thought of as the icky salesperson? So much so sometimes it keeps us from sharing what we're doing, right? Because we're worried about coming across that way. But if you're focused on building trust and investing in relationships, you never come across icky. Also, you get to go for yes. You get to go for yes with relationships. Have you guys ever heard the old thing that don't worry about no's, they just get you more no's, get you closer to a yes? Have you guys heard that before? Did that ring false to you too? There's no way no's get you closer to a yes. No's don't get you any closer to a yes. They just close a door. With relationship marketing, we get yeses because we're not pushing people into something they don't want. We're building relationships. Does this make sense? Okay, so how do you actually build trust? I'm going to teach you the 4 essential ingredients to building trust. So you can take these and implement them into your business right away. Okay, so there's 4 things. I'll go through them quickly and then we'll explain them out. The first one is chemistry. Okay, chemistry. Number 2 is character. Okay, character. Number 3 is competence. Competence. And number 4 is consistency. Chemistry, character, competence, consistency. The 4 essential ingredients to building trust. Okay, so chemistry is where you have common ground with someone. What is it about you they can relate to? Okay, chemistry is where you have common ground with someone. What is it about you they can relate to? So in other words, how do you build chemistry or rapport with somebody? And this is important because people do not want to do business with someone they don't like. Make sense? They would prefer to do business with someone they feel is a friend. We're going to get a little deeper into kind of the philosophy of the psychology of this in a minute. But your first job as a business owner is to find common ground with people. What is it about you they can relate to? What is it about them that you have in common? Ask them some questions and find out. This is an important thing for us to understand. Even the people you feel like you have nothing in common with, you have things in common with. And we've got to get to those places quickly. Make sense? Okay, number 2 is character. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you're relatable. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you're relatable. Notice something about this. You don't actually, based on my definition, you don't actually have character. You don't have character. Character is something you do. It's an action you take on a daily basis. We think that it's something that we have, but it's something that we do. And we need to remind ourselves because a lot of times we can easily become offended if we feel someone's questioning our character. And we should expect people to question our character because it's something we need to prove on a daily basis. This is so important. Seriously, how many of you consider it important when you're doing business with an entity that they have good character? It's probably the most important thing, right? In fact, you may be enjoying a service and then you find out they lack character. What do you end up doing? You stop doing business with them. You are your business. Juice Plus is not your business. Now, Juice Plus as a company has good character, so you feel good about that. That's part of the equation. But there's how many Juice Plus distributors in the world? Why is somebody going to do business with you? It's because of your character. So you need to understand that 24/7, everything you do is building or tearing down your business. The way you handle, the way you take care of your customers, your follow-up, the way you demonstrate we're going to talk about competence on number 3, the way you park your car in the parking lot, the way you drive on the highway, everything you do, the way you post on social media, it's either demonstrating your character or not. Does this make sense? Little joke about this, I don't know how many of you guys are really excellent and courteous drivers, but what's really good is you put a little Juice Plus sticker on your car and it will force you to be more courteous. Right? Because it's reflection directly on your business. It's all good. Another great thing is a statement of faith. Put a statement of faith on your car and then try to cut people off in traffic. It doesn't work, right? Because now you're representing publicly. So it's a good thing too. All right. Number 3 is competence. Hey, we all need these little helpers in our lives. Competence is number 3. This is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and that you're a business person. Okay. This is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and you're a business person. There's 2 pieces to this. The first one is, are you knowledgeable about Juice Plus? Do you know enough about it to be able to educate me and help me? If I tell you I have a certain problem, do you know how to address that problem? And when you're new in the business, maybe you don't have that competence. And so part of your journey is to learn and educate yourself. And I know so many of you have gone on and gotten additional certifications in nutrition, and you've become Dr. Sears coaches, and you've done all these amazing things because you're building your competence, right? That's an important piece of it. The second piece is, are you a competent business person? Do I trust that you can mentor me in the business to be successful? These are the two things I really need to know before I come, join you 100%. So again, work on that. If you're new, learn. Ask people to mentor you. I know you've got great leaders that, set up this call, for example, that are there, that are available, but you got to step up to get that mentorship. They'll mentor you, but you need to step up and ask for it. Say, hey, mentor me, teach me. I want to be your sponge. Work on your competence. Now, here's another thing I just want to mention real quick. If you are newer and you don't have that competence, it's very important that you don't pretend to be something you're not. Do not fake it. Okay? Because relationship marketing depends on trust. Your friends and family have seen you with your pants on backwards. They won't believe it anyways. What you do when you're new is you lean into the competence of your team. You tell people about your upline. You tell people about your teammates, how amazing they are. Tell their story, tell their competence, tell their success. Share that you are part of a winning team in the beginning. Does this make sense? And as you're bringing up people on your own teams, teach them to do the same. They get to ride your coattails until they're ready. But competence is definitely a mission you need to be on, working on, becoming more and more professional. People join this business as, I have no idea. It's a side business. I want to make some extra money. And over time, they become incredibly competent professionals. It's kind of a surprise to them as well. But you guys have an opportunity to have a multi-million-dollar business here with a $50 investment startup. Oh my gosh. Right? So I want you to start thinking about the fact that you are running a multi-million-dollar company. Real quick on these three, there's principles behind this before I jump into number 4 that I want you to understand. Here's the principle. When someone's going to do business with you, they really only care about these 3 things. Can I trust you? Do you care about me? And are you good at what you do? Can I trust you? Do you care about me? And are you good at what you do? These are especially strong in direct sales because so many people have been burned by people who got no's for all 3 of these. Does that make sense? They already have that history. So it's going to take you a little more work to build this trust. Now, here's the good news. When somebody feels like these are all affirmative answers, then you've got an advocate. That's when you've got an advocate, somebody who's excited about what you're doing and they're telling other people about it. Until they feel good about these 3 things, you'll get objections. Have you guys ever had someone raise objections? And that's okay too. That just means you're relationship building still. Okay, you're still building trust with that person. So be a professional, learn how to overcome those objections, talk them through it, educate them. But as you build trust with that person over time, you won't get objections anymore. Okay, you'll get to a place, and I experienced this in my business, actually still kind of experience this with Teamzy to an extent, where people call up and just say things like, here's my credit card, just sign me up for whatever you think I need. Right? I know you guys have had customers like that too. And that's because the trust is there and they know that you care, that you want to take care of them, and that you're going to advocate for what's best for them. Number 4 is consistency. Okay? Consistency is number 4. How many of you think this would be important if you wanted to trust somebody to see if they're consistent? Absolutely. In our business, especially so, because people join the business and relationships go, we'll see. We'll see if they're serious, right? Do they really mean it? Because people flash in and out of this business a lot, don't they? So people need to see you being consistent if you want them to trust you. This is so important, to be consistent. I love this principle. People respect consistency and they desire it for themselves. People respect consistency and they desire it for themselves. Not only do people look to see if you're consistent before deciding if they are going to trust you or not, but when they see you being consistent, it draws them to you. They're attracted to it. How many of you have had somebody tell you that they find you, that you're an inspiration to them, that you're inspiring? And it's humbling, isn't it? When somebody says that to you, you're so inspiring. It's like, me? Could you tell my wife that, please? Could you send her a message telling her that I was inspiring today? Because she's just mad at me for leaving my laundry on the floor, right? The thing is, though, is that what it is that inspires people is your consistency. They see you doing things like being committed to your healthy lifestyle. They see you committed to helping other people. And they think, wow, that's so cool. This actually builds your team. Being consistent not only gains trust and helps you get customers, but people want to be part of it. How many of you, I mean, just seriously, I mean, I know you guys all love Juice Plus, right? But how many of you at this stage in the business, even more so, just love being connected to the team and the community? Right? Isn't that an amazing, deep connection? I mean, I see you guys at conference. It's like the happy time to be around everybody and get to hang out. That's the thing is think about that and how attractive that is for you to be connected to that. And that's what people are attracted to. Consistency is the most important thing. Now, this is kind of important here. Let me just look at your faces for a second. If you guys have your cameras off, turn them on for a second so I can see you. How many of you are consistent products of the product? You take your Juice Plus regularly, right? You're committed to a healthy lifestyle. Maybe you've got your tower gardens going. Okay, good. That's good. Hey, that's pretty good. Most everybody's got their hands up. How many of you are consistent about sharing your journey, your story, what you're doing, your mission on social media? Not bad. We got pretty good there. It's okay to do this. This doesn't mean that you're not consistent, Annie. This just means that you're that kind of person that's a little hard on yourself, right? You've got really high standards for yourself. That's what I love. I relate to that because that's like the best score I'd ever give myself to. Well, because I could be doing better, right? It's all good. These are important things. Now, here's the important question, though. The real checkup from the neck up, to borrow a phrase from one of my favorites, Zig Ziglar. How many of you are consistently staying in touch with the relationships in your life? I don't just mean your close ones. I mean all of them. Because this is what the core to our business is, building relationships, right? If I go back to my slides, I'll show you that I have on here that relationship building is a contact sport, right? Relationship building is a contact sport. This just means that we need to be in contact with people. Let me get to that one. We need to be in contact with people if we want to have a relationship with them. We can't just feel good about them and it's a relationship. You have to be in regular contact with people. If you ask me the secret to building this business, huge and successful, sustainable and joy-filled, is staying in contact with everybody you know, right? Everybody you know. Now, I know that there's only a limited amount of time in the day, which, by the way, is why I built Teamzy, so that you can actually stay in touch with everybody and have a life at the same time. But here's the principle I want you to get here, and then we're going to dive into Teamzy. I'll show you how to use it super efficiently. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Okay, I'm going to say it again. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Okay, you guys got that one down? Let me just give you a quick example, a quick story on this. Keep your cameras on. Excuse me. How many of you have ever received, and this is the time of year for it, right? Some of you guys are writing cards and stuff, getting ready. How many of you have ever received a card or a letter from somebody you love, and it was handwritten with a message that just touched your heart, just got you right in the emotions? How many of you guys have ever received a great card or letter from someone you love? Hopefully everybody, okay? If you haven't, just put your address in the chat so we can all write you one if you've never received one of those, right? Then you'll understand what we're talking about. Next question is this: do you still have it? How many of you have kept that card that you were thinking about, or you've got a stash of these cards somewhere that you've saved over the years? Just about everybody. It's amazing, isn't it, how we'll keep things like that? Often they came with a gift and you have no idea what the gift was or where that is, right? But you still have the card. I think it's amazing. You know, it's often common that when somebody passes away that's dear to us, we keep their cards and letters as our most treasured memory. How many of you have a card or letter from somebody who's passed on? Okay, so we're talking about something we all have in common. Here's another example, though, and this is so important because I'm gonna draw this analogy. You guys will understand. Now you'll have a filter to look at any sort of marketing approach to your business through this filter I'm showing you right now. How many of you have ever received one of these? This is a happy birthday postcard. I happened to get this one from my life insurance salesperson. Have you ever received one of these from maybe somebody you do business with, right? Now, how many of you did you keep this? Is this in a special place? No, this went right in the trash, right? You probably maybe didn't even finish reading. Oh, that's nice. It goes right in the trash. I mean, I guarantee you my son's not going to save this and mark his Bible with it when I'm gone, right? Like, oh, it's so nice that his life insurance person was happy. I mean, I guess actually it's kind of ironic, right? A life insurance person's probably very happy every time you celebrate an birthday because they don't have to pay out, right? But my point is that this doesn't have much relational value, if at all. What's the difference? Now, again, remember the principle was if you want to deepen a relationship, you have to invest time and connect with a person, right? This required no investment of time. This was just an automatic thing. Probably doesn't even see it. That means that's why it has no value. Nobody put time into this. It has no value. Does that make sense? And this is not personal. This is a bulk mailing. This is not a personal message to me. So it has no, those are the two things it needs for it to deepen the relationship with me. That's why it has no value, because it doesn't do either of those. Does this make sense? If you want to deepen a relationship, you have to invest time and connect with somebody. Now, do you need to be handwriting letters and cards all day long to everybody to build a relationship? No. However, if you can think of a reason to send somebody a handwritten card, you should, because they will keep it forever if you really pour your heart into it. Okay? But even just connecting with somebody via message, a text, a Facebook message, a direct message of some other sort, taking a few seconds just for them, it's enough to really make somebody's day, which is what we've built Teamzy on, is this concept of making people's day, spending a few seconds making people's day to build relationships. Okay, and I'm going to show you how to do it in a minute really efficiently. But this, I want you guys just to internalize this. Anytime you hear the term marketing automation, it sounds so sexy and inviting, doesn't it? Oh, I could just put it on automatic. This is what it feels like for the people receiving it. Does that make sense? It feels automated. It doesn't feel valuable. It doesn't make them feel valued. So it's just important as business owners, we understand that. Our business is built relationship to relationship. Okay? The reason why I would pick Mimi or Nancy or Sandy, it's no fair, I've known them the longest, as my trusted advisor in this business isn't because Juice Plus is awesome. I mean, that's part of it, but it's because that person has invested in me. Does this make sense? Okay. So this is all well and good and great. Yay. We like the philosophy, but you got to have more than just a philosophy. You need a system. You need a system to follow. There are people who are really good at building relationships in this business, and they have built businesses that are successful, but they find they're working too hard. Why? Because without a system, it's like drinking water from your hands. Are you able to do that? Yeah. Do you spill a lot of water doing it? Absolutely. So we need a system, a way to stay in contact with all our relationships. Know when you're going to contact people without having to think or plan, right? Know what you're going to say so you don't stare at your screen all day wondering, oh my gosh, how do I message this? How do I connect with this person? And not actually get any work done because you're trying to be perfect. And make sure that nobody falls through the cracks because you've got a system so they don't. Does this make sense? Okay. Let's go look at the system. It's Teamzy. Let's see here. Now, again, I mentioned before, if you guys are not using Teamzy, go to teamzy.com/JP and start your free trial, okay? If you were using Teamzy and you've fallen off the wagon, you need to get on, just get back into it, okay? It's like 60 cents a day to use Teamzy for Juice Plus people. Come on, tax deductible. All right, so let's get in here and look at this. So when you first log into Teamzy, it's gonna bring you into the setup wizard. The setup wizard is designed for people who don't wanna do complicated technical stuff like me. It makes it easy, okay? So you just follow this through to set up your Teamzy. The first big thing we're going to do is set an income goal. How much income would you like to be making in your business a year from now? Okay. This income goal will determine how much work you need to do each day. Okay. So again, it's a system. So once you set your goal, we'll tell you what to do to get there. You'll know exactly what to do every day. The higher your goal, the more work you need to do. The lower your goal, the less work you need to do. Now, really quick, I know some of you guys have built some really nice businesses already. You're going to set a goal based on the difference you want to see, not based on what you're already earning. Does that make sense? So if you're already earning 6 figures and you want to go to, 200,000 next year and you're making 100,000 now, then your goal will just be 100. Does that make sense? If you're new, then you're going to set it for your full goal. So I'm going to set mine for 150,000, which was my goal. I was trying to replace that income when I started my business. And you can see here that Teamzy is now telling me what to do each day to hit it. I need to connect with 9 prospects, 6 of my customers, and 4 of my distributors each day, 5 days a week to hit my goal in a year. Okay. So I'm going to click continue. When I click continue, now Teamzy has now set up, it's telling me that I stood too long on this page. Let me refresh it. It's now setting up my Teamzy account to those goals. So it's going to be customized to those goals. The next step here, we're going to get all your contacts into Teamzy. And again, you want to get everyone into Teamzy so that you're organized and everything's in one place. You're not digging for pads of paper or sticky notes where you've written somebody's information. You get it into Teamzy. Teamzy's cloud-based, which means it's always available to you if you have your smartphone in your pocket, which you always do, right? So if you meet somebody, you don't need to write it on a napkin. Just pull out your phone, put them right in Teamzy right now. Okay, you can remind yourself to send them a message tomorrow so that you stay in touch. So we'll get everybody in there, and you can put like you get your back office contacts, all your Facebook friends, your phone contacts, wherever you have people, get them into Teamzy. Okay. Man, I tell you, it was like game changing for me to get my Facebook friends list into Teamzy. That was so cool because then I could systematically connect with people and not just kind of, who should I talk to today type thing. All right, so here's my Teamzy dashboard ready to go. There's one more setup piece. I'm not going to get too deep into it today just to save some time, but you'll notice that people have a star rate, like a number next to their name. That's their rank, right? And we rank people on a star system, 5 stars. And the star system is important because it allows Teamzy to intelligently create your list every day. Okay, so just to give you a quick rundown on what the ratings mean. A 5-star person is going to show up at first, and they're going to come back every 30 days automatically. So with Teamzy, you don't have to set follow-ups with people just to stay in touch with them. They come back automatically based on their star rating. Okay, so you can see Nancy and Mimi are 5 stars, so they're going to come up on my list first, and they're going to show up every 30 days. I'll get a reminder just to connect. And again, when I say connect, it's just to make somebody's day. I'm going to teach you how to do it in a second. It's not to sell them or recruit them. It's just to connect and make somebody's day. That gives me an opportunity to have a real conversation with them without turning them off. Make sense? 4-star people, they're going to come up next after my 5-star people, and then they come back automatically every 60 days. Okay, every 60 days. 3-star people, they come up every 90 days. 2-star people come up every 120 days. So the more stars you give somebody, it sets more priority and they come back more often. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, great. And if you guys go to, the Juice Plus training site, the Rudes did a great training on how to kind of do that ranking system in Teamzy. You guys can check out that video too. It's kind of cool. Okay, so once you've got everybody ranked, you're ready to work, and you never have to think or plan. You just log into Teamzy and you connect with whoever's up next. It just gives you your list. You don't have to think. So today I'm going to go do my power hour. Let me show you how we do this. Here's the power hour module right here in the center. You guys see that? And what this does, I forgot to show you this. Here, see where it says today's activities? These are my goals for the day. And they're there every day. And as I work them, these circles will fill in. It kind of gives me a visual confirmation that I'm getting things done. It also lets me know that I'm finished for the day and I can go on and do things, right? So the power hour module is where I do my work, and it's got 4 lists on the left side: prospects, customers, distributors, and my follow-ups. Okay. And on the right-hand side is where I log that activity as I do it so that it's tracked. Okay. And it's important that we track as we go. That way, Teamzy knows when to remind you to connect with that person again so they don't ever fall through the cracks. Okay. So let's go ahead and do this. I'll just show you how easy this is. We always work left to right in a power hour, starting with prospects. Yes, always. Even if you have 100 people on follow-ups, I want you to start with prospects, okay? Because the day you stop connecting with prospects, a couple months down the road, you'll have an empty follow-ups list, and nothing will be happening in your business. Does this make sense? Okay. Here we go. First person on my list is Nancy. I'm going to connect with her. Okay. And I want to just send her a message to make her day. And now this is where I used to get stuck is, what do I say to her? How many of you guys struggle with just the messaging part? So what we did was actually after about 2 years of people using Teamzy, I got this question so much that we built a scripts library into Teamzy. Just some things that have really worked well over the years. We put them in here. So if you want to go to scripts right here, you can get some ideas on how to quickly just message and connect with somebody. So we'll click on scripts. It looks like Nancy's up first, so we're going to message her. So I'm going to message her on Facebook. She and I are new Facebook friends. So I'm going to go to Facebook and send her a message. However you want to message somebody, it's fine. You choose the appropriate scripts. Here it is, connect number 1. I'm just take the first one off the list. Here's how it reads if you can't see that screen. It says, "Hi, Jane, just stopping by to say hello. How are you? I hope your day is awesome." Super simple, to the point. Okay, so I'm going to copy that script. And I'm just going to paste it here so I can do some editing. Obviously, her name's not Jane, right? That's just a sample name. So let's change your name. Okay, I like the way it's written. I don't need to edit the wording because I wrote it. Maybe some emoticons, you know, some fun stuff. I don't know. Whatever you guys want. A little high five. Okay, so look, once you've got this script the way you like it, now you're ready to send it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this and go send it to her. Now, the reason why I did the editing in Teamzy and not just work in the message itself is I can't even tell you how many times I've sent it with Jane before I got the name changed, or right? You guys can relate to that. And so this way it protects me from that. But again, it's not a big deal if you do send the wrong name. Like I said, I've done it many times. And nobody has, been that mad at me for it. I usually just apologize and tell them I'm dumb and tell them to call me something else today. And, Okay, so look, there's Nancy. I looked her up. I'm going to send her the message. Super easy. I'm just going to paste it in there. There it is. You guys see that? How easy that is? So boom, we actually sent it. That was real time. If she wasn't muted, you'd hear her phone go bloop as that message came in. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to finish logging that in Teamzy, whatever that was a Facebook message though. And then see the blue button that says log connect. So now it's done. Now check this out. There's 1 done, 8 left, and my circle's starting to fill in. And you can see that Nancy's gone off my list. She's gone for 30 days. She's still in Teamzy. I can look her up and do anything I want, but she's not on this list, on my up next list for 30 days. So the next person up is Mimi. So I'm going to go in and send her a message. I'll actually just use that same message, which is still in my clipboard, just paste it in there and change the name. Super easy, okay? This is where I start getting fast. So we'll do that. We'll send it to Mimi. There she is. And I know Mimi is like Miss Consistent this month, which I have to just give you a shout out, Mimi, because I know how hard it is to be consistent this time of year, November and December. So good job on that, by the way. And I know you guys on Mimi's team are watching her do that, and you probably think she's amazing too, because she is. Okay, so here we go. Facebook message, done, logged. 2 done. See that blue circle filling in? We'll do one more, just to give you an idea. Next one's Jay. Now, do you guys see how fast you could do this once you get going? I mean, you get to be so quick at it. This is why I could do 19 connects is my goal for $150,000 a year. I can do it in 15 minutes, easy. Now, let's say it takes you 30. Would that still be a pretty good day's work? Yeah. So here's Jay. Boom. We'll send her the message. And again, the biggest thing that will take you time in the beginning is probably overthinking the messages. So the very first message is keep it really simple. And, just use my scripts. They actually are very effective, right? Nobody's going to think that this is a sales script. It's just a hello script. When they respond, then you can start thinking about your messaging. You can go look at their Facebook or Instagram pages and catch up on what they're doing and have a conversation. Make sense? But your first step is just the hello. So look, let's log that one. So look, I've got 3 done. You can see that circle filling in. So as I keep going down my list, that will be completely blue, and I'll know that I'm done with my prospects list for the day. And I'll go over to the next list, which is customers, and start connecting with my customers. Now, real quick on this, you guys, some people will respond right away, and I don't want you to go off and have a conversation with them yet. Get all your outgoing messages done first, or else you'll very easily get sidetracked from getting them done at all. Make sense? So just make them wait a few minutes while you get all your outgoing messages done, so that part is done. So now I'm going to toggle over to my customers, and I'm going to start connecting with my customers and see, oh, look at this. Jennifer's actually in the same area some of you guys are, I think. All right, so what I'll do with my customers is the same thing. My goal is just to make their day. It doesn't have to be a sales or product oriented message. It could be, but it doesn't have to be every time. Just connecting with customers. Does this make sense? Just staying in touch with them, building that relationship with them. And again, if you need help, go to scripts. I've got some scripts here, which is great. Look, so let's give you a couple examples. Congratulations on great results. Let's say she's in my shred group. You're doing great. Proud of you. Congratulations on whatever she's achieved. Does this make sense? Hi, John. How are you enjoying whatever the products are? How are you enjoying your tower garden? Send me an update. Let me know how I can be of help. By the way, it's just a great thing to ask somebody to send you an update. Just send me an update. How's it going? Now, for example, with me on the tower garden, I needed a lot of help in the beginning with the tower garden. How many of you guys struggled a little bit in the beginning? It was like the Star Wars series. It was Attack of the Snails. Then it was Attack of the Aphids. Then it was, right? And so luckily my Juice Plus rep was there connecting with me, asking me, and I was like, actually, I'm glad you messaged. What do I do about these snails? And and it was helpful. Guess what happened? I bought a second tower garden. So now my brother has a tower garden, and as a gift, I sent him all the little cures. I go, here's everything you're going to need for all the pestilence that's going to attack you. It's all good. So just quick connects. Here's one of my favorite ones. Hi, Jane, just checking in to see if there's anything I can do to make your day. So again, you find a script you like, you copy it, you send it to that person, okay? Just checking in. You know what? She's a real person. Let's send it to her. Most of the people in my account are fictional, but Jennifer is a real person, a real Juice Plus person. Let's send her the message. She'll be like, what are you doing? So you can send that message to somebody, just a checking in message, okay? Boom, done. Same thing, just jam down your list and get your customer messaging done the same way. Are you guys with me? Now, here's the thing I want you guys to understand, and I don't want to step on anybody's toes because I know that Juice Plus has a specific follow-on program that you guys teach where you follow on a certain amount after each thing. The challenge is if you're one of the people, which the majority of people are like this, that struggle with actually executing that follow-up plan, you're not doing it consistently, I'm just going to give you a little bit of permission to be human. And just know this, if you put them in Teamzy and you star them, you rank them based on, how important they are to you. And all you do is come through and just connect with people on your Teamzy dashboard. You'll be in good contact with those people. You'll be serving them properly. And it will take some of that thinking out. Does that make sense? But being in regular contact with customers is absolutely essential if you want to be successful in this business. Okay, and I'm just going to give you 3 quick reasons why. This is huge, okay? This is principles you need for your business. You guys teach this to your teams. First of all, being in touch with customers, that's the right thing to do, right? That's good service. That's part of being a professional business owner, isn't it? Yeah, how many of you wish you were better at that? It's probably why some of you are here listening to me today. It's important. We need to be in touch with people. But here's a really good reason business-wise. When you're in regular contact with your customers, guys, they order more product and they retain longer. This is a statistical fact. If you're in regular contact with customers, they order more product and they retain longer. Okay? They don't know what they don't know, and you just need to be in touch. And when you're in touch, it allows them to ask questions. It allows them to inquire about different products. They start building on their portfolio of what they're using. Does this make sense? They start getting people, their family members involved. I mean, when you're selling a nutritional product, like I look at it like this. If you get me using Juice Plus, it's only a matter of time if I'm enjoying it that I'm going to want my whole family using Juice Plus, right? Then I'm going to want to get my parents on Juice Plus because they're getting older and they're having health problems. Wouldn't I want to do that? So as you're in touch with me, I should be building my product order. Does that make sense? And this will happen statistically, not with every customer, but if you're in touch with all your customers, you'll see that they order more and retain longer. Team-wide, you'll see volume go up. We've done 30-day Teamzy challenges with teams and seen team volume go up 20 or 30% in 30 days, just because people are in contact with customers. So it's huge. The other piece of the puzzle is this. How many of you have at least one customer that you just love? You just adore this person and you want more people like that. Can you guys think of somebody like that? Where do you go find people like that? Is there a place where you can go? You'd all be there right now if there was, right? I want you to understand, how do you find great customers? The best way, the best place is from your current customer. There's no better way to find a great customer than from your current customer. Okay? Now, I know some of you guys are in boot camp now or have been in my boot camp in the past, and we actually spend a whole week teaching you how to do this. But the first step to actually getting those introductions to the people that your customers love is by being present. You're not going to get introduced to the people they know if you're not present, if you're not connecting with them on a regular basis and investing in them. Does this make sense? You have to be in regular contact with people, serving them. And then it's just natural to ask them who they care about that needs help, that you can help now. Does that make sense? You can just ask them. Mimi, I know you've been getting great results on Juice Plus. You've been loving it. And I'm sure you've been telling other people about it. Guess what, guys? Your customers are telling their friends and family about Juice Plus. Absolutely 100%. It's what people do, right? So I'm talking to Mimi, my customer, and I say, I know you've been getting great results and have been really loving it. I'm sure you've told people about Juice Plus. Before I get too busy this month, Mimi, I want to make sure I prioritize the people you care about above everyone else. Is there anybody that I need to get more information to this month? That you've been talking to? Just ask them. She's going to go, well, actually, I was talking to my friend Nancy about it yesterday. Awesome. Would you introduce me to Nancy and I'll get her some information? Just ask her. So this is an important concept, guys, without going too deep into this because we don't have a lot of time for it. Don't ask for referrals, get introduced. Don't ask for referrals, get introduced. Don't say, well, Mimi, I know you've been really loving Juice Plus. Keep me in mind. Refer me to your friends. Okay? That's nice. But instead, ask her who she's been talking to that needs help, and then ask her to introduce you to them. And just make it easy. Mimi, whatever's easy. You could do a group text, email, group Facebook chat, whatever's easiest for you. Just introduce me. I'll get her some info and we'll take it from there. Okay? When she introduces Nancy to me, by the way, I'm not looking to sell Nancy this month. I'm excited that I've got a new relationship to build in Teamzy. Okay? So I'm going to reach out to Nancy, see what kind of information she needs, and I'm going to see how motivated she is. If she's really interested, we're going to get her started right away. If she's kind of like, hey, it's nice to be connected, Eric, then I'm going to keep building the relationship over time. Does this make sense? Okay, either way, it's a win though, because you've been given a relationship who already trusts you because they trust the friend who introduces you. All right, so let me get back in here. I would love to just spend an hour on that topic with you guys, but we got to move on. So we're going to connect with customers. Connecting with customers is key. And as you build your business, after you've been in this business a while, the prospecting becomes less and less attractive, doesn't it? But if you've built a customer base, you can focus on those relationships and get introduced, and you can build an entire business just from introductions from previous and past customers. And that's way fun. The next list on our Power Hour is our distributor list. We're going to be connecting with our teammates. Okay, the same way, just messaging them, wishing them a great day, letting them know you're proud of them, right? You can take a quick look in back office and see if they've done something. Hey, I saw you got a new customer. Congratulations. You don't have to spend too much time on this, but it is important to spread the love with your team. And let's get back to this concept. Remember, I don't know if you can see me in the thumbnail. It's about personal connection and investment of time. Just a quick message to you from me. Not to the team on our Facebook group, not just on a Zoom call, but just I took some time out of my day to say, thinking about you today. Does this make sense? It's why we named the product Teamzy, by the way, because we know that if you want to have the life you want, you have to build the business first, and you have to get to the business, you have to build the team. The team is motivated by relationship, by connectivity, by community. And anybody who gets in front of you and says, it's all about the money, it's not. People are not motivated by. Do people need money? People want money, but what really drives them is relationship. Okay? So remember that as the team grows big, the more successful you become, the more impactful the little bit of time you can give somebody feels. So you can make a bigger impact, which is pretty cool. That's one of the main benefits of success, is that you have a bigger impact in people's lives. Isn't that cool? I want you guys to think of it that way. Okay, so prospects, customers, distributors. I'm taking too much time on these points. I think I'm having fun with you guys because it's the middle of the day. Nobody's sleeping. It's all good. Okay, so the first half of our power hour is just messaging prospects, then customers, then distributors. That part's super easy. So in my case, it was 19 messages. Just use the scripts and send them out. Done. The second half of my power hour is my follow-ups list. You can see nobody's automatically on the follow-ups list. You have to put people there. Let me just show you how to do that really quick and explain the concept. The follow-ups list, remember, you don't need to set follow-ups to stay in touch with people. They come back automatically. The follow-ups list is where I'm putting people who are interested in the business or the products. These are like this is where I'm just staying in touch, investing in relationships, being present for people, educating people. Now on follow-ups, I'm helping people. I'm getting right to it with the business. Does this make sense? So using Mimi as my example still, I message Mimi, she responds, we have a great conversation. I'm asking her all about her plans for the holidays. She's telling me, she's updating me on her family and everything they're doing, right? Because I'm asking her, tell me about this, tell me about that. Okay, great. What is the absolute normal thing to do in a conversation when somebody's just told you all about their family and their work and everything? What do? You tell them about yours, right? It's just, it would be weird not to. So now in the conversation, we've had this great conversation and I've been listening to her. By the way, if you're doing it right, you're taking notes. A lot of times it's via messaging, so it's all in front of you, but I'm looking for any opportunity I can find to help her in some way so that I can invest in the relationship. Okay. And then I'm going to tell her what's going on with my life. Here's what my family's doing. Here's what we're doing. We're doing all this cool stuff, right? And I'm going to tell her about work. How many of you have a job in addition to Juice Plus? Okay, so when I say tell them about work, I don't mean your job. I mean tell them about Juice Plus. Okay? You just say, well, my job's fine, but did you know I have my own business? So what I want you to do in that conversation is share what you do and why you're passionate about it. What do you do and why are you passionate about it? I sell these little capsules. No, that's not what you do. What do you do? How do they help people? Okay, what's your mission? You need to tell people what you do and why you're passionate about it. When you tell people what you do and why you're passionate about it, everybody that you know is excited for you. Have you found everybody in the world's excited that you have your own business and it's a direct sales business? No, but they will be excited when you tell them what you're doing and why you're passionate about it. They'll be excited for you. That's where we want to bring that conversation, because we want to make sure that your Juice Plus business, whether or not they're interested in being a customer or joining your team or even supporting your business in any way, that in their world, it's a good thing, your Juice Plus business. And it's all about the way you bring this. Does this make sense? This is how you turn people who are not interested in being customers into your advocates. It's funny because I get emails like, I got an email the other day from somebody who said, Eric, I've decided to leave direct sales forever, but I want you to know I absolutely love Teamzy. And I am going to be telling everybody I know in the business to use Teamzy. It's like, that's like my Dear John letter from somebody who's quitting my business is that, don't worry, I'll continue to be your advocate. Does this make sense? And it's kind of like, well, that's a bummer. I wish I could have, been more involved and helped you not have to, for whatever reason that you're leaving the business. But my point, that's what I want you guys to understand, is that when you're building this relationship, those people will be your advocates. Are you with me? Okay, so wait, I'm way off the reservation. Let me get back to the example. So I'm talking to Mimi. We're having a great conversation, looking for ways to help her. She's telling me what's going on in her life. I'm going to now tell her what's going on in my life. I'll probably customize it based on what she's telling me. When she's complaining about the fact that she never sees her family, I'm going to say, I have my own business. And the reason I did it was because I wanted to be with my family. So I relate to what you're saying. Now I get to be with them. Oh, wow. So I'm going to just tell her about my business. I'm going to see if she sounds interested in what I'm doing. If she sounds interested in what I'm doing, I'm going to ask her if she'd like some more information. It's that simple. If she sounds like she's got her knees locked, her donkey legs locked, she doesn't want anything to do with it, then I'm not going to ask her if she's interested right now. I'm going to just keep her in my Teamzy flow and connect with her over time. Does it make sense? You guys with me? But based on her response, oh my gosh, that's so awesome, Eric. Oh, that's great. I wish I could do that. I heard people would say, I wish I could do that. Or, oh, you do? Guess what? You're a lot smarter than I am. You probably be better at this than me. So as I'm seeing if she's interested in learning more about it. By the way, I think you guys have such an amazing product. I find it's very easy to share Juice Plus. I'm not building a Juice Plus business, but when people come over to my house, just about everybody wants to know how they can get a tower garden or how they can get gummies for their kids. Honestly, I mean, because because I have young kids, school-aged kids, so everybody I know has school-aged kids. They're like, wait, what do these gummies have in them? How do we get them? And then they give some to their kids while they're over our house and they eat them. They go, they actually ate them. So I'm just saying, little side note. I'm just going to ask her, would you like some more information? If she says yes, I'd like some more information. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to invite her to come deeper with me so that I can share the business with her or share the products with her, whichever. Does this make sense? And let me show you how I do that in Teamzy really quick. So if I go to my dashboard, she's not there anymore because I already connected with her. She's not coming back for a month. So what I do is I just go to this lookup bar to look her up. Okay. That brings me to her full contact record in Teamzy, where I have, all of our conversations logged. I have any notes I have about her, all that kind of stuff. So what I'm going to do now, let's just say, for example, Mimi and I get on a three-way call to talk to the business. And because I'm new, I lean into an upline person with more experience to kind of help me through that call. So let's say she and I get onto a three-way call where we really talk about the business opportunity. And so I'm going to log that in Teamzy, right? The three-way call, there it is. But notice right here on the bottom left where it says share, I want to actually click that because on that call, we talked about the business opportunity. So now I'm logging that I shared the business opportunity with Mimi as opposed to just talking to her, catching up. When I click on that share, what it did is it activated the follow-ups list. See right there, that little calendar? So now I can set it, it defaults it to 2 days, but I can set it to any date in the future I want. Let's say I'm going to follow up with her tomorrow. Like I want to just really follow up. Tomorrow is my favorite day. Like we're talking today, I'm going to follow up tomorrow type thing. Okay, so I've got her now set to go onto my follow-ups list tomorrow. So when I log this, and I'll put in here any notes on our call that I took or, things I want to remember about what she said. Now, when I log this connect, it's now added the follow-up. So if I go over to my dashboard, let me just show you this real quick. One thing that happened was it logged a share. My goal is to log 3 of those a day. Okay, so it logged that I shared my business with her. And if I go to my follow-ups list, you can see that she's now on my follow-ups list for tomorrow. So what that did was it actually removed her from my prospects list temporarily. And now she lives on my follow-ups list. So as I'm connecting with people, when I have a conversation that gets to a point where someone's interested and I invite them in some way and we get a chance to share the products or share the business opportunity with them, I'm going to put them on my follow-ups list. Okay. So my goal in this example is 19 connects a day and 3 shares. So I'm going to try to start 19 conversations. Typically you'll get about half of them to respond. So that's 10, let's say 10 conversations a day started. Out of that, 3, I'm going to share my business or products with, put them on my follow-ups list. So if you're really cooking, doing this for a while, on Friday, you might have 15 new people on your follow-ups list. Okay. So the second half of my power hour now is to do my follow-ups. So I've connected with prospects, customers, distributors. I'll go to my follow-ups list. Any follow-ups that are due, I will send them a follow-up message. This is also very simple, everyone. It's just like your regular connect messages, except now we're sending a follow-up message. Let me show you how easy it is. So when Mimi's due, I'm going to go to my scripts. By the way, I put 10 follow-up messages in here for you, okay? Super easy. I'm making this so easy on you. They're labeled follow-up. Follow-up number 1, there it is. So let me copy that. Here's what it reads. It says, hi, Jane, just checking in like I promised I would. What questions do you have for me? So let's copy that, okay? We're going to send this to Mimi to follow up on our great conversation. Oops, type it right. Okay, there's the message. Again, ready to go. Hold on a second. I'm getting all kinds of robocalls right now. So we're going to find her, look her up. Look, I'm getting responses from my script. See that? It works. The stuff works. All right. So we're going to send Mimi this follow-up message. There it is. Just checking in like I promised I would. What questions do you have for me? Send it to her. Great. And then I'm going to log that in Teamzy. Now, this is really important. Before I hit log connect, set a new follow-up. Just click on follow-up, set a new one. Let's say I'll follow up in 2 days. You can leave yourself a note. This will be follow-up number 2. When you have a lot of follow-ups, those little notes help, by the way. You might have to say, you might put something like, ask her how she's feeling. Maybe she's under the weather today. So I want to ask her how she's feeling in 2 days. Does it make sense? Whatever your note might be to yourself. So when I log that, now it's logged and it's set at the new follow-up. Does this make sense? Super easy. So you're going to connect with people to start conversations. Do your best to have a conversation with them when they respond. And then when you find interest, you share your business or your products with them and you would put them on your follow-ups list. Okay? So 5 days a week, that's your power hour. Send messages, new messages to people, and then follow-up messages. Okay? It will really be helpful for you to set aside some time, 30 minutes or 60 minutes elsewhere in the day to just respond to people. Okay, just to respond to people as they respond to these messages. Otherwise, you may be on your phone all day long and you don't want to do that. But if you set aside a little bit of time, you can do all the responding. So if you do this 5 days a week, what happens is over time, the people on that follow-ups list, they convert. They convert. Some people will be on that list for a year. Some people will be on it for 2 days, but they will convert. Now, how am I doing on time? Are you guys with me to talk real quick about follow-ups? I know we need to tie this up. And it's okay, we're recording, but I just want to do this really quick because this is where most people mess this up. This part so far is real easy, but then they're like, oh, I'm not getting results. The reason why is because the fortune is truly in the follow-up and you need to be following up more. Okay, you need to be following up more. Typically, it takes 7 to 10 follow-ups for most sales to occur. The statistic is 80%. 80% of sales happen between the 7th and 10th follow-up. Okay? So how many of you guys are following up 10 times consistently? Nobody does that, right? Very few people do that. Mostly because they're worried about being annoying. Is that why? You don't want to be annoying? Maybe you're not organized enough. You don't have Teamzy yet. Once you have Teamzy, though, you'll be organized enough. So that won't be the issue. Here's what I want you guys to understand. If you're in this business because you want to help people and change lives, like how many of you guys, that's your passionate thing? Like you want to help people change lives. You're in this business for that. Good. Doesn't matter how good Juice Plus is. You're not going to help them if they don't get it in their hands, are you? So here's what you guys need to understand is that helping people first starts with a follow-up. Because if 80% of people need you to follow up 7 to 10 times before you can help them, that's the only thing you have available to you is you're following up. So I don't want you to think of following up as something that's annoying. I need you to understand that following up is an act of love. Okay, following up is an act of love. This is how you love people through it. Now, I'll teach you how to do it without being annoying. It's super easy. There's 2 principles. If you follow 2 principles, people will thank you for following up 10 times. They won't be annoyed by it. Okay, and you'll never come across salesy. Here's the principle. Some of you guys have had me teach this before. Maybe you need a reminder. Principle number 1, don't ask them to do anything. Okay, in your follow-up, they don't have to do anything. They don't have to call you. They don't even have to respond. Okay, they don't have to do anything. Don't ask them to do anything. That's annoying, right? Because you don't know what's going on in their life at this moment. So just don't ask them to do anything. The second thing is, most people are not even going to open your message because they're busy. It's coming at a weird time. They're not going to respond right now because they're busy doing something else. They're not even going to open your message. Okay. So just understanding that, what you want to do is you want to send them a message that's short and concise and that they can read. So no voice messages, no videos, short and concise and they can read, like a text or a Facebook message, direct message on some sort of platform that they can quickly read without opening it. So it has to be short enough they can see the whole message without opening it. Because no matter how busy they are, they will look down at their phone and read your message. Okay? And that's all you want. You just want to stay present. You want to let them know that you care, let them know that you have not given up on them and that you are here for them. Over time, they will respond. Most people will not respond at all until 6 or 7 follow-ups. Nothing, you just get crickets and you start to invent stories on why they're not responding. Most people in our business give up after 3 or 4 because they're like, they don't respond, they're not interested. I am telling you, it's human psychology. I could do an hour class on just why people are wired this way. They're not going to respond at all to 6 or 7, nothing. People who love you, respect you, and are excited about your business opportunity. So you just don't give them a second thought. Stay emotionally detached from it. Just love them through the process. They come up on Teamzy, send them the next follow-up, send a new one, a couple days out, a few days out, whatever you feel is appropriate. Keep messaging them. What will happen is around the 7th follow-up, you'll get a response like this. I'm so sorry I haven't responded to your messages. Thank you so much for following up. I really appreciate it. And that's where you guys want to live, is in that place with people, because then they'll know that you care. When you stop following up because they haven't responded, they feel like you didn't care about them to begin with. Does it make sense? The fortune is in the follow-up. You have to keep following up. So that's why we built Teamzy. It makes it easy. It brings your cycles, your whole list through. So you're in touch with everybody. When there's interest, and share, put them on that follow-up list and keep them on just stay in touch. Just stay in touch. I know you said you wanted to I know you were excited about this. I'm staying in touch like I promised I would. And you can use my script. I have 10 follow-up scripts in there and they all follow these principles. Just use them. Just go in order. You send script number 6, put in number 7 next time. Does that make sense? Okay. So then when Mimi finally, months later, gets things going, when the timing's right, how do I actually go into Teamzy and finish her off? I find her contact record again. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just log that there was a sale, see the sale button. And you've just got 2 choices, application fee and other. So if she comes in as a distributor, then I'll click application fee and save. All right. And then I'll add a tag for the products that she got. So I'll just say she got a tower garden. She got a quad. Are you guys with me? So then I'll tag the product she got so know what she's doing. And then I move her member type from prospect. If she just bought as a retail customer, I would just click customer. If she comes in as distributor, I'll click on distributor, personally sponsored. Now I've moved her in my system all the way through from prospect all the way over to distributor. She'll show up next time she shows up. She'll show up over on this distributor's list where I'll connect with her and check in with her. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. All right, so I know I'm over. But I do want to answer questions if you guys have questions. What I want you to do is just go ahead and unmute your line as you go, and I'll be happy to answer some questions for you.
Anybody have a question right away?
I do, real fast. And you may have said it, but I was taking notes. So when we're doing the, quote unquote, 7 to 10 follow-ups, and we're, how are you, do you decide how far, like the duration for spacing them out? Is that automated?
Yeah, it's like you just got to kind of trust your gut on it. Now, what I have found works well and is more natural is that each follow-up is like a little bit longer in between. Does that make sense? So you follow up the next day, then 2 days later, then maybe 3 days later, and they just kind of space out. So over time, they're a little bit farther apart. It won't feel like they're farther apart. That's the thing about relationships. It'll feel like you're just right on top, even when they're like 30 days apart. But just, I don't want to nag people, but part of the process is you're promising this to serve and help people. And so you want to follow through on that promise. You'll notice that the follow-ups are worded that way, that we use that term a lot. Like, I promised you that I would do this, so I'm doing it. And it's kind of an important piece to the trust building process. So yeah, you kind of trust your gut on that. And there's going to be people where they finally respond and say, can you connect with me on October 15th? Because that's when I can deal with this. And it's like, okay, great. So then just set the follow-up for that date. Right. And then when so that will happen, and which is okay, because they're still on that list. How many of you guys took a long time before you got involved? You were pursued a long time.
Well, I was going to use myself as an example, because as we were talking about follow-ups, Sharon McClellan here is a friend and been a friend for over 30 years. And I became a customer and started sending her customers left and right. And Sharon, I'm curious, how many follow-ups did it take before I said yes? Can you hear me?
Yes.
There you are.
Okay. Sorry, I was muted. A lot. It was over, 2 years, I think.
Mm-hmm. Which, you guys, that's not unusual. I realize that now. But I mean, Sharon just patiently kept following up and asking me. And then what did I do? I went to a conference and I caught the vision. And it's the people, the community, and the product, all those things. So Sharon was consistent with her follow-ups.
Yeah.
It works. It totally works.
The thing is, not everybody's going to take 2 years, but some people will. And instead of spending a lot of time thinking about them, they just come up on your follow-ups list. You spend 2 seconds, send them a follow-up, and keep working your list. Does that make sense? But it keeps you engaged with them over time.
But who wouldn't wait 2 years for a national marketing director?
That's right.
That's right.
And your best friend, you know, one of your very best friends that you get to work with.
And how many of you have had somebody you stopped following up with and is now building a business with somebody else? It happens. That's my thing of that is you plant the seeds and water the seeds and you've got everything going and then you abandon the field. Somebody else comes along and harvests it. It's heartbreaking. That's why you need a system like this so you can keep in touch and stay in touch with people.
Good.
Any other questions?
I have one.
Okay, let's hear it.
Eric, what would you say is the biggest challenge for Juice Plus reps with your system, or what do they do that outside of not following up, which you said was really important, and we know that. What are we doing wrong that we could do better, I guess? And it could be across the business generally, not just Juice Plus, but you've worked with a lot of us now.
Right. Okay, so that's a great question. No one's ever asked me that. Thanks for asking that. The number one thing is that people are not consistently working on their business. They're not using Teams. Teamzy makes it easy, right? Let's use Teamzy's example. They're not logging into Teamzy and doing connects with people. They're doing it like they're like binge building. 1 day a month, they go in and connect a whole bunch of people, and then they don't go do it again for weeks, and that doesn't help build something successfully over time. That's the biggest challenge. Now, let's say you are good and you're getting there 3-4 days a week into Teamzy and doing your power hour and your DMO, getting it done and connecting with people. If you're doing that, you're 90% of the way. But where people struggle the most now is, wow, this is fun. I'm connecting with people, but they're not sharing. They're not sharing the business or the products with people. They're just having conversations. So the next thing I would say, once you get consistent, is fearlessly doing what I just kind of do it the way I told you today. Fearlessly sharing what you're doing and why you're passionate about it. Okay, what you're doing and why you're passionate about it. My Juice Plus rep, some of you may know him. He lives out on the East Coast. His name is Ron Llewellyn. And he was in my boot camps, and was a nice guy. I didn't really know him. And he messaged me and said, I'm not getting any traction, Eric. I'm doing my numbers. I'm not getting any traction. I said, all right. He and I jumped on a Zoom and we talked about it. I said, tell me your story. Does anyone here know Ron? Okay, so I'm going to tell you his story. Sharon knows him. He tells me a story. Stage 4 cancer, placed on palliative care, right? That's heartbreaking. No, the doctors basically said, there's nothing else we can do for you. Sorry, buddy. So he turned to Juice Plus. He's an avid tower gardener, got a plant-based lifestyle going. And guess what happened? His cancer went into remission. Cancer went into remission. Here's somebody who was basically told, you're going to die. Make peace with your loved ones. And now he's he goes into remission. Now he's got a new life. Did that make him passionate about Juice Plus? Yeah. The problem was he wasn't sharing that part of the story with people. He felt like it was prideful to boastful to tell people his story. And I had to say, people need to understand why you're passionate and what are you doing. So now he's, he kind of flipped a switch and said, hey, I'm on a mission to help other people who are in a hopeless situation or who are facing serious health challenges, turn it around. Here's something that we can work on together that could help. It helped me. And people responded incredibly well. I was moved by it. What are you doing and why are you passionate about it? So I'm telling this story because what is it about Juice Plus that makes you passionate about it? You all have different stories. You'll also notice that when I did my definitions of building trust, it was like, how can you relate to people? How are you relatable to people? You notice that was like a recurring theme because people need to relate to your story too. And some of you who have become successful, I know there's a few national marketing directors on this call. you need to make sure that you're still telling the original story of where you started and how scary it was, or maybe where your health was in the beginning. A good friend of mine who's a qualifying national marketing director in Juice Plus, she's like, I think of her as like Wonder Woman. She's just one of these incredibly strong people. And when she told me her story, she was so sick. I said, how come you're not telling people about your frailty story? They need to relate to you. We all know you're awesome, but people don't know that you struggled. Does this make sense? So what we want to do is share what we do and why you're passionate about it. Why are you passionate about it? For me, it was, my business was weight loss. I lost weight. I lost 40 pounds. That was a life-changing amount of weight for me. It changed everything. I felt amazing, and I was excited to help other people do it. People who knew me as kind of the chubby guy were excited to know what I did. So I was able to help people right away. And so I would tell people, hey, I don't know if you know, I lost 40 pounds recently, and now I found I've got a knack for helping other people do it. And it's been a lot of people like, wow, that's really great. Does this make sense? So, okay. So going back to your question, 1, get consistent, 30 minutes a day. Take one thing and get consistent. How many of you guys brush your teeth every day? So look, you can do anything then. You've created that habit. You do it. You don't think about it. Are there days where you don't feel like brushing your teeth anymore? Do you really have those anymore? No, you just do it. So you can build any habit. For me, 12 years ago, I became a Christian, and my good friend, Will, who's a pastor, he said to me, if you could just open your Bible for 15 minutes a day. I don't care if you even understand the word you're reading, just do it for 15 minutes a day. He said, it's like brushing your teeth. How many of you guys think that was a life-changing habit for me to put into effect? It was a life-changing habit for me to put into effect. Everything is like this. So it's like layer things in to your life that are going to be life-changing. And I will guarantee you this, using Teamzy 15, 20 minutes a day to structure and systemize connecting with other human beings in your business will be life-changing for you and for your business. So that's the next thing I want you to do. And then understanding that you actually have a blessing to share with people, which is what you are after, what you're doing passionately. That is your blessing to share with people. Don't deny it to people because you're afraid to mention that. Does that make sense? But I also don't want you messaging somebody out of the blue and going, hey, it's been great. It's been great 20 years for me since high school. How about you? And let me tell you about my business. Because that's already been done to them and they're not looking forward to that. Does that make sense? So have a normal conversation with somebody, catch up with them. Let them know what you're doing, and then it builds naturally that way, if that makes sense. Okay. I get excited talking to you guys.
Oh, we love it. Thank you, Eric. Does anybody have one last question? I see a few faces that look like they have questions and they're just not gonna speak up. So this is your moment.
It's okay. It's not like I hide under a rock. You can always get a hold of me if you have another question that's burning. One thing I do want to mention though, again, 30-day free trial of Teamzy coming up. You can do that anytime. We mentioned the boot camp. There's a new boot camp starting in January. So keep an eye out on your email. If you guys are Teamzy subscribers in any way, you'll get emails on that. But keep an eye out for that. We're going to start that up the 3rd week of January. So you can start making plans now if you really want to get in and go. The boot camp is great because it addresses really the 2 big questions that Severin brought up, which is how do I be consistent, right? And how do I learn the skills to be more effective at this? So that's what we'll be working on. So when you guys are ready for that, keep that in mind. Talk to your people on your team that you want to be success partners to do that with you, and get that in your plans for January. You got a little bit of time to kind of get your ducks in a row. But I think that the January class tends to be a really impactful one because, I don't know, we've got this psychology thinking that the beginning of the year is a great time to really work on the business. One little word of advice I will give you guys is this, though, is that if you wait till January to start building your business, you're going to be slow in January, February, and March. Okay? This is the time to get connecting with people. I know it's hard. 2 of my kids have birthdays in December. There's Christmas. We just had Thanksgiving. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on, right? But I'm just telling you right now that if you can get in there and do a couple of blitzes where you're messaging people, just wishing them a happy holiday, just starting to create some of that relational energy. It will put a lot of momentum into next year for you. Okay? Because relationships build on momentum. And if you're starting from zero, it's like pushing that rock uphill. It's going to take you a while to build that momentum in the new year. So anyways, if I leave you with anything today, and you're here on December 16th with me, you've got a couple of weeks before the end of the year, is that you guys will get fired up and get into Teamzy and start messaging, connecting with people as you can this month to really build that momentum into 2020.
I will speak too. Mimi and I are loving the boot camp. It took the system and helped to become a habit. And once it becomes a habit, then you take it a little layer deeper to go, how can I improve in this habit? So it's just been fantastic, Eric. We've loved it.
Oh, good. I'm glad
and are loving it.
Yeah, we still have a couple weeks to work in there.
Yep.
Sure. Okay, well, thank you all for putting this together. I'm always excited to talk to a group of people like you who are passionate about your business and helping others. That's my mission, is to get more people like you in my life so I can help you and impact what you're doing. So thank you guys for having me. God bless you all. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you, Eric. God bless you.
Thank you.
Have a great day, y'all.
Merry